So, Jason, we have talked in the past about the concept that email-based domain control validation is going to go away.
God, and so many of you use it.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Tim?
Well, so there there have been some forces that have been driving on that. We saw the removal of the ability to use whois to do constructed domains. We saw the removal. We've seen MPIC in order to deal with BGP attacks, and the BGP problem being fundamentally insoluble with an email-based method. So, and in fact, at the beginning of this year in our predictions episode, we talked about this coming. Well, it did. So there is now a proposal in discussion in the CA browser forum. It is sort of an extended discussion period. There's no end date set to it. But this proposal had been advanced by the Chrome team. And what it will do is over the next 2 years, will deprecate all email and phone-based methods of domain control validation. They will all be gone.
Wow. So Tim, as I was listening to you give your introduction, I'm thinking about, I was just counting in my head the number of topics that you hit. Any one of those things, you could look back to dozens of episodes we did in the past.
Yeah.
So we're
a lot of backstory on that.
There's an enormous amount of backstory here.
Yeah.
And that's important to note. But I want to say what you said just very slowly and just to highlight how important this is.
Yeah.
Probably the number one way, correct me if I'm wrong, probably the number one way of getting a certificate from a CA. I mean, you need to verify that you own the domain. That's what domain control validation is all about.
That's a requirement for every server cert.
So even if you don't call it DCV, every time you fire up Acme, you're doing a DCV. Every time you interact with a CA at all, you're doing some sort of a domain control validation. Whether you know it, whether you call it DCV, I just want to make that clear. You're all doing it. Anybody who's a subscriber to CA does DCV.
You must.
So
you have to.
This isn't some...
No single cert can be issued without it.
So we're not talking about some esoteric CA thing. We're talking about here's how you work with a CA.
Yeah.
And the number one way of proving you own a domain is answering an email, right? Or essentially getting an email from the CA, getting a code, and then entering that code.
Yeah.
And that's email-based DCV. Yeah. And you're telling me that there's a real good chance that's going to be deprecated.
So correct. Email-based DCV is exactly that. An email is sent out of band to an email that the CA has confidence belongs to the actual domain owner. There are multiple methods of determining that. And then the person who receives the email takes the shared secret that was given to the subscriber, replies to that email with the shared secret, and therefore proves the connection. Just like take the shared secret, put it as a file on your server, we go check the server, and you've proved the connection, right? Same thing. So in that sense, that is a form of DCV. Now, the problem with it is email is so insecure. It was an architecture that was built at a time when we didn't have any concept of the sorts of attacks and stakes that we have today. And, I still run into people who don't realize how insecure email is. And so like it can't really ever be hardened to the point where we can feel like it's strong the way, let's say, a DNS-based or a file-based DCV is going to be. And that's even in the absence of the Border Gateway Protocol scenario. And the BGP scenario is insoluble. Like the best I could come up with is I would have to send you emails from 7 different places around the globe, and you'd have to reply to all 7 of them. And nobody's going to do that. They're going to say, oh, I already did this. Why did I get 5 of these? They will say.
And if the email is compromised anyway.
And that doesn't even deal with the other email compromise problems. So, so I've been saying for a long time that this is a method that really is arcane
It is.
and has to go. And you know, it wasn't us, right? It was a browser, but this has been raised now.
It was coming.
Coming.
It's about time.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of you are going to complain.
Yeah.
A lot of you are going to be like, oh my God, one more thing I got to do now.
Yeah.
You know, we were just had an episode, Tim, about how many, killing 3 birds, killing 4 birds, killing 100 birds, that there's so many issues that are coming at us now to the subscriber.
Yeah.
And this is just one more, but this is one where, to have a better internet, Tim.
Yeah.
You don't want CAs accepting email-based DCV.
Yep.
Because what it really means is somebody could issue a certificate on your behalf, right, without you knowing it really, if your email systems are compromised. You don't want that.
Yeah.
And so really...
it's an attack vector.
It's an attack vector against you.
Yep. Yep.
And so you don't want this either. So we should all feel invested.
And here's another thing. Even if you say, well, we don't do it. Oh, that's okay. We don't do email-based DCV. Doesn't matter if the attacker can.
That's exact. You might be fully automated.
Right?
It doesn't matter
if the attacker can. Yes.
So it's, it really points to, Tim, a lot of these things we really should be thinking about automating away as much as possible. And if you're able to use a DNS-based DCV, which is my preferred, I use it exclusively.
So I mean, one of the interesting things I also find from talking to, real world practitioners at large enterprises is oftentimes the people who do the certificates have zero interaction with the people who do the DNS.
Right.
They don't talk. They don't know who they are.
Right.
And the other thing I hear, this might be whinging, but the other thing I hear from the certificate people is, oh, DNS things are incredibly slow. I put in a ticket and it doesn't get done for 2 weeks. Well, that won't do anymore, right? If I've got to get a cert and I've got to get it now, I've got to be able to put in a ticket and get a DNS change made today. And so those are things that I think enterprises need to think about. Agile DNS management is a thing that's just absent in a huge amount of corporate America or corporate world, right? And connection between operations productions teams and the people who run the DNS, just absent. And again, we've gotten away with it, but we're not going to keep getting away with it. So this is something we need to go fix.
Those are really good points. Folks, this is going to become a big deal. And, you might be hearing Tim and I talk about this, right, and go, you might be ignoring it or hoping it doesn't happen and goes away.
Yeah.
This isn't going away. This is inevitable. So check your processes because you're going to have to change them.
Yeah. So anyway, I like I said, right now, this is just in the discussion period. That's why I didn't come in with the specific details of what's deprecated at when. These things might change. We'll probably come back later and do an episode where we go over the details. But the big takeaway right now for the viewers of this is that 24 months from now, all email-based and phone-based DCV is probably disallowed. And plan for that now. And go start making your plans so that you won't have a crisis and a fire drill when they're actually coming up on those deprecation dates.
Tim, we probably should have said this at the beginning, but it's fine. We buried the lead again.
We like that.
You said it distinctly. There it is. But I want to make it extra clear. This is a bell ringing episode. We rang the bell on deprecation of client authentication certificates. We rang the bell on MPIC very early. We rang the bell on a number of things that eventually came true.
Yeah.
This is another bell ringing episode.
This is happening. Like the discussion period will work on details and when, but I will eat my shoe if 3 years from now these things are still allowed.
Oh, no, it won't be.
Because they won't be.
No.
They won't be. This is happening.
There you go.
It's just a question of exactly how and when.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, thank you.